All right, everybody, welcome to Earth Science, page 2 of the Isoline packets. Scent of barbecue field map. Kind of a silly one here, but it's meant to just give us like a different context for another field map. Here's a map with a bunch of values. How can we make isolines out of it? So, how intensely it smells, rated from 1 to 4. And there's our values right there. So, we're going with green. So I'm thinking you're probably to a point where you could just jump in on this one and start doing it. Feel free to do that. Usually when there's these little dots next to numbers, what that indicates is that you should go through the dot, though in Cami sometimes that's not so easy. So I'm not going to get mega uptight about that this year. See those little things like that. It's going to be hard to deal with. So remember to go back to that last rule on page 1. Just be patient. Maybe do your lines like one short section at a time. Do your best. Don't let Cami ruin your Christmas. All right, now this clearly is breaking a rule because they ended in the middle of a map, right? We can't have that. But I did it on purpose so that I could show two different possibilities here. Could this one connect over here to this? Yes, it could. Absolutely. That doesn't break any rules. You're all okay with that. And in fact, it's not even like that bad. What you'll want to watch out for is if you start trying to do like a lot of lines right on the edge of a map and they all end up getting so close that you're like, I can't make them not touch together. That's probably where you're getting into mistakes. And that's where what you should do is what you could do here. And again, if you did it the other way, it's fine. It doesn't make any difference on this one. But we can go off the map. We're all clever enough to know that that line goes off the map a little bit, then comes back on over here and does that. Both of those perfectly okay. All right. There's some letters on there. Those are for the questions later. Don't, somebody always asks, what do I do with those? Don't worry about it. We're just doing the numbers. They're just kind of there. So 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So he's making the rings. This would be like what a hill looks like on a topographic map. Oops, see, I missed that dot by a little bit, but again, let's not panic this year. There you go. And then let's try one with a touchscreen. Close enough. That's not ideal. If you did that with a pencil and paper one in my room, then I'd be saying just fix it. But do your best. Try to avoid little things like that. But I mean, we can't really fight too much this year. All right, classic rookie mistake. If I say go ahead and do number 4, or if you already did number 4, here's a classic rookie mistake. And if you made it, it's okay because we're going to fix it. People will just say, well, I connected the 4 to the 4, and that's good. The problem is those lines end in the middle of a map, and that's a no-no. That can't happen. So what we got to do is make a loop out of it. Like that. I don't love it's hard to see through your finger, you know. But then with the mouse you get those little crazy little things. But hey, whatever. So there you go. Not too bad, eh? A couple questions just to like say what are we looking at here? What letter most likely represents the barbecue itself? Well, it's going to be close to where the smell is the strongest. So we're going to go letter A. What direction is the wind blowing from? We haven't gotten here yet, but when we talk in meteorology, we always talk about where the wind comes from. We live in a westerly wind belts. Winds in general, where we live, and in the latitudes we live, which is this wind belt goes pretty much from around 30 north to about 60 north, and we're right in the middle of that. The winds in general come out of the west, which if you're in Pulaski would mean it's coming like right off Lake Ontario right into town, right? That's a westerly wind. You point to where the wind comes from, and that's what you name the wind after. So in this case, if that's the barbecue, the wind would look like it's blowing the delicious barbecue smoke that way, right? That's my wind direction. And if north is up on this map like we usually do, I would call that a northwest wind because the wind comes out of the northwest. Would a person at location X be able to smell a barbecue? According to the rules we got here, I'd say that they're outside the line with the weakest smell, if that's a term. No. All right, there you go. Page 2. That one was a little quicker and easier. We'll stop and we'll see you again in a few minutes for page 3.